kick at your front door. How you gonna come? With your hands on your head, on the trigger of your gun. When the law break in, how you gonna go? Shot down on the pavement, or waiting in the pool. You can crush us, you can bruise us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is First Amendment Media's Free Speech Radio. I'm your host, Mr. Garbo. We just heard from The Clash. Guns of Brixton. It's a terrific song. Speaks volumes about things that are happening in our world today here in the United States. This has been another tumultuous week, and as you can see, the title of our episode tonight is Attack of the Tyrants, because the tyrants are attacking, and they are working in unison. They are coming for our rights, they are coming for our free speech, and they are coming for our guns. Our guns are the tools that we have to protect our free speech, and they are coming. But we are not going to give up without a fight. We are the spirit of 1776, and we will triumph over the Orwellian 1984 madmen. Last Saturday, on January 19th, 2013, the Guns Across America Gun Appreciation Day rallies were held throughout state capitals here in the United States. I believe 47 states took part in the rallies. I, of course, took part in the rally in my state. It was a very peaceful and, above all, a friendly rally. Counter-protesters were expected. However, in my pro-gun state, they did not show up because, A, they're cowards, and 2, they have no credible evidence to refute our positions. The only thing that the anti-gunners, especially the anti-gunners who would protest non-government officials, all they have are their unbridled emotions, their feel-good television, and their Oprah Winfrey style pop culture, Barack Obama loving, freedom hating television politics. And the educated, freedom loving Americans triumphed on January 19th. Our voices were heard across the country. We were covered by the media, and above all, we stood up for ourselves. We were responsible, peaceful, and the rallies went off without a hitch, and I was very proud to take part in those rallies. But the assaults on our freedom have not ceased. In fact, they have multiplied this week. If you've been paying attention to our websites, my personal website, mrgarbo.wordpress.com, that's mistergarbo.wordpress.com, or our First Amendment Media homepage, which is firstamendmentmedia.tumblr.com. You'll see that I've written a number of articles and linked to various pictures and websites and articles throughout the week that I have found to be important. We also, last night, launched our Twitter account, which can be found at www.twitter.com/First Amend Media. Unfortunately, First Amendment Media was too long for Twitter, so we weren't able to use that, but First Amend Media works. FIRSTAMENDMEDIA, all one long word. So please find us, follow us, enjoy us, retweet us, get us out to everybody you know. Spread the word of freedom. We will defeat the communists. We will defeat the collectivists, the tyrants, and all other folks who want to take our rights. Unless you are under a rock this week, Monday, January 21st, our dictator-in-chief was inaugurated for his second term of hopefully will be his last term, although there are plenty of folks out there who want to repeal the 22nd Amendment, which put term limits on the president, of course, to make Obama a never-ending tyrant. So I know that I am not the only person who is looking forward to 2017 when the tyrant is kicked out of office, and hopefully we'll learn from this and we won't be replacing him with yet another tyrant. If you watched Obama's inauguration speech and you were paying attention, you were appalled. I was appalled, and I wrote a article about this, posted on both of the websites I just linked. 700,000 people showed up in Washington, waving flags, cheering. Some were even crying because Obama is like his heroes, like Hitler, like Stalin, like Lenin. He is a dictator, and people are mesmerized by it. And all who supported Obama in 2008, 2012, and on Monday for his inauguration share a similar desire, global socialism. And let me point this out, ladies and gentlemen. Many of his followers don't understand that they have a desire of global socialism. They play in, again, to the Oprah Winfrey pop culture television politics, and unbeknownst to them, they're supporting global socialism because they believe in the ideas of this madman. And I highlighted several areas of his inauguration speech. He started out by saying, "Each time we gather to inaugurate a president, we bear witness to the enduring strength of our Constitution. We affirm the promise of our democracy. We recall that what binds this nation together is not the colors of our skin or the tenets of our faith, the origins of our names. What makes us exceptional, what makes us American, is our allegiance to an idea articulated in a declaration made more than 2 centuries ago." And he goes to quote the Declaration of Independence, including life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Mr. Obama, sir, Your Royal Highness, please tell us, tell me, tell my listeners, tell the American people about the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, and its indefinite detention, which you signed into law even when you said you wouldn't, you did, to crack down on political dissidents by labeling them as terrorists. Anyone who is labeled as a terrorist can be indefinitely detained, whether they are in a foreign land or on the homeland. That is not American. That violates everything that America has stood for the past 230 plus years. Explain how the Patriot Act, which you voted to extend in your first term, which has allowed the spying and the groping and all other sorts of malfeasance committed against the American people. Please tell us how that fits into life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because I'll tell you what, spying and indefinite detention is definitely a threat to my life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I'm not happy being spied on, and that is certainly a denial of my liberty and possibly a threat to my life, and your family's life. Please explain that, you hypocrite. He continued by saying, together we resolved that a great nation must care for the vulnerable and protect its people from life's worst hazards and misfortune. Well, Mr. Obama, that's not the individual citizen's job. I have no duty, and if I feel the duty to help someone else, I'll help them through my private charitable donations, not through taxes. I don't buy into your collectivist ideas, which were so finely put on display in your inauguration speech. You make me sick. You are scum. And you are a communist, and that is out in the open. There is no more personal responsibility in this country. You and your cronies have been incrementally taking it away. Then he dared to say, we believe that America's prosperity must rest upon the broad shoulders of a rising middle class. We understand that outworn programs are inadequate to the needs of our time, so we must harness new ideas and technology to remake our government, revamp our tax code, etc., etc. Yeah, you said that you weren't going to raise any taxes on the middle class, but I am middle class, and my taxes just went up. There are also various other fees and surcharges that I am forced to pay, which legally aren't taxes, but I'm paying more money. Call it a tax, call it a surcharge, call it whatever you want. I'm paying more. I'm middle class. You are a liar. Even Bloomberg has pointed this out, that the middle class is going. Bloomberg is a supporter of yours, and Bloomberg and his news media outlet are tyrannical. But even they have had to mention it. The tax cuts promised to be extended to the middle class were not, and that the tax increases that were supposedly done on very wealthy Americans did hit the middle class. So stop believing the lies of this dictator. The commitments we make to each other through Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, these things do not sap our initiative, they strengthen us. Entitlements are killing this country. We are drowning in debt paying all of these entitlements. Medicaid and all of this does not strengthen this country. He continued to speak about wars, which he's continued. We will be going into Iran, just you wait. Even Henry Kissinger said today that nuclear war with Iran is imminent. He also subtly dropped inferences about gun control and protecting the children, where gun control is not going to protect the children. It's just going to make them more and more and more unsafe. In all, I'm not spending any more time on this at this point, but in all, if you were paying attention to Obama's speech, you know the guy's a collectivist. It was on fine display. This guy is totally out of control. He knows at this point his political career is over in 4 years, and he will do everything in his power to dismantle this nation. He has been being groomed for this since childhood. He is an avowed Marxist-Leninist. Moving on to the assaults on the First Amendment earlier this week, as I linked on firstamendmentmedia.tumblr.com, the Pentagon has said that protests are acts of low-level terrorism. Now, I mean, we've seen this coming for a while because they've banned protesters around the president, around the White House, etc. Now they're